so I don't know. This may be too pretty to waste, and I may end up just putting together a small lap quilt or a table runner or something out of this, and then using the remnants for smalls because it is really, really cute fabric. So, Marlene, thank you so much. Okay, I had mentioned that I was going to start, or I had ordered, and everything just fell, that I had ordered the Cricut Collection Skeleton Crew, and I believe that Jen at Delicious Threads is working on this as well, and this has been in my wish list for the longest time, and when I saw that she started it, I went ahead and ordered it. I had to have it. I love this. I think it's such fun. So, sad bit of a story on this. I dyed fabric for it, and it turned out really fun and funky and modelly and kind of a pukey green brownie fabric that I thought looked like a choppy sea. And I started it, and I actually had stitched 2 of the skeletons down here and all the way up to here. This whole section in here was finished. And I went to move my fabric on my hoop, and I realized that I had not cut the fabric large enough. I was at the end, and I had only cut the fabric to the size of the stitched piece. I hadn't given myself any room. So I took a big sigh and put it away for a day, and then dyed some more fabric, which I actually am much happier with how this turned out, and I restarted it. And so this is the fabric that I dyed. And my thought on this is, okay, so this top is more blue, and that's, let me do it like this. My top is more blue, and that's the sky. My middle is kind of greeny, and that's the sea, the top part of the sea. And the bottom is kind of purpley green, which is the kind of more under the sea. So that's my dyed fabric. I was really happy. I tip dyed this, so I held it and dyed it, and then remixed the dye and held the next part in, and then remixed the dye and held the next part in, and I was pretty happy with how that came out. And I just have the just the tiniest start on this. Nothing very exciting, just the start of that middle ghost, but I love this pattern. I love Cricut Collection patterns as it is, and I'm really pleased with my fabric now, and I have a big enough piece, and so we will go forth. Don't you just hate it when you do something like that, guys? Oh my goodness, it's just heartbreaking to spend that kind of time and realize that you've screwed up. So, okay, the next thing I ordered, and this was completely McKenna's fault, stitching in sequins, McKenna, So, this doesn't need a lot of introduction. It's Halloween Quaker by Lila's Studio. I think that Lila had gifted this to McKenna, and she was showing it, and it's just right up my alley. And so I ordered the pattern, and I dyed some fabric, but of course I didn't bring it over here with me, so I can't show you. I'll show it to you next time. Anyway, I got ever the tiniest start on this right before we left to go to the wedding. So I love this. It won't be done this year, but it is a great, great pattern. I agree with McKenna. Lila Studios has some awesome patterns. I figure I better show you a little bit of Ebenezer's Christmas, since I am doing that as a Sal with Nicole Buckeye Stitcher, Pam stitching between the lines, and I believe Marlene Stitching by the Lake is doing this as well now, right? Right, Marlene, you're doing this now. So not much progress at all on this, but this is my humble beginnings to Ebenezer's Christmas, which I love. Oh my goodness! And then Nicole had said something about, don't get it all done, don't stitch too fast, take your time, and not that that's ever an issue with me. And so she said, because I'm sending you something. And so several days later in the mail, I got a little package and with a little card in it, and it was a Christmas card. And my husband opened it up. I was doing the dishes or making dinner or something, and I said, go ahead and open that. And he opened it up, and he said, why are you getting a Christmas card already? Well, it's because Miss Nicole Buckeye Stitcher, sweetheart that she is, sent me this awesome A Christmas Carol needle minder to go with my Ebenezer stitching. I love it. Nicole, thank you so much. That was so sweet, so kind of you. This community just, I'm not going to cry. I did enough crying over the weekend. But so my plan is going forward, my stitching plan is that between now and Halloween, Monday through Saturday, I'm going to work on Halloween. So I have Halloween Quaker, I have Skeleton Crew, I have Hawk Run Hollow Halloween, I have just a variety. I'm working on the monochromatic Halloween Town. That's what I've been working on today. So lots of different Halloweens, and that's what I'll work on between now and then. On Sundays, I will kind of keep to the Santa Sunday theme, and I'll work on Christmas. And my big pull, I think, for this Christmas is going to be Ebenezer's Christmas and then ornaments. I have 3 ornaments to make for my children. I mentioned before that Caitlin and Caleb, now that they're married, will get 1 ornament from me. They won't each get their own. And then 1 for Ryan, 1 for Maddie, then 1 for us, 1 for myself and Brian, or, our house. And then I have 6 or 7 different rug cooking friends, and we got together for lunch yesterday, and without even thinking about it, out of my mouth came, I'd like to have a little Christmas get-together, drinks and appetizers, and let's do an ornament exchange. And it doesn't have to be handmade, but of course, just know yours will all be handmade. So now I have probably 6 or 7 more ornaments that I need to make for friends. And anyway, we'll see how that goes. But so I may actually take a half a day on Wednesdays and stitch ornaments. I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of time on my hands now that the wedding's over and things are kind of settling down with that. But I'm sure that, I'm sure I'll get busy just like I always do and won't have nearly as much time. Just one last thing, and because that's sort of all my stitching, but one last thing before I go. My local rug cooking store, which is Black Horse Antiques, the rug cooking store at Black Horse Antiques, had a big hook-in this past weekend of the wedding, and so of course I wasn't there. And as she does, she had a pattern sale, and it was $10 off your first pattern, $15 off your second pattern, $25 off your third pattern, and $25 off of every pattern over number 3. And so I was there for Friday rug cooking the Friday prior to the wedding, and she said, well, I know that you're not going to be here next weekend, and so you can buy your patterns today. And I couldn't resist. She has so many great patterns. So I'm only going to show you 2. I bought 5. I'm only going to show you 2. And I have a Halloween pattern that I'm working on right now that I meant to bring, but I didn't bring. Maybe I'll try to insert a picture here. But I plan to get that done in the next week. And then I would like to start this one. It is, again, another Spruce Ridge Studio Chris Miller pattern, adapted from the folk art of Lori Breschlin. And I'm going to have to stand back because it's sizable, as they all are. Let's see if I have it. Oh, these patterns are so hard to see. But it is called, what is this one called? It is a witch. And I just love anything witchy poo. This is called, oh goodness, I don't see the name of it on here, but anyway, it's an ABC, it's a sampler witch, so it's got the alphabet on it, it's got Little Miss Witch, and her, I don't know, cat on a stick, cat face on a stick kind of thing, and her skirt. These really remind me of a lot of the Plum Street sampler witches that Paulette does. Oh gosh, I saw this pattern. Had to have it. Had to have it. And then the other one that I thought was so cute, and again, it's another Chris Miller Spruce Ridge Studio. This one is called Dasher. Okay, now guys, see if you can see this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. So it says Dasher. You see that, right? I can't tell. There's the little Christmas tree. There's the little, let's see, a little wagon, right? Christmas tree in a wagon. And then, look at this. That's Dasher, and Dasher's a donkey. I loved this. I thought this was so sweet. So I would like to get this done for Christmas this year. We'll see. So that's kind of my game plan, is to get the other one done, and then start on these two, and 8,000 other projects that I have to do. I think that is everything that I have. I can tell by the time that this will be 2 video. I'll try to insert a few pictures of the wedding. We don't have any of the professional pictures back yet. And these are just ones that were snapped on cell phones, and really all cell phones, just snapped here and there. And yeah, so it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. It was a good weekend. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you guys are getting lots of stitching in and enjoying fall weather. We had, that was one interesting thing about the wedding. The wedding was at 4 o'clock on Sunday, October 8th. So at 4 o'clock on Sunday, October 8th, it was 71 degrees. It was actually a little bit warm if you were sitting in the sun, and the wedding itself was outdoors. The reception was inside at the same venue, so we didn't have to move. We didn't have to go anywhere, just walk inside. And it was just beautiful. It was perfect fall colors. You'll see some of the fall colors. Just gorgeous, kind of in the foothills in Colorado. By 10 o'clock that evening, okay, so 4 o'clock, wedding, 71 degrees, beautiful, kind of hot. We were, a little bit fanning ourselves. Of course, it's high altitude in Colorado, so you sunburn pretty quickly, and the sun feels just a little bit hotter than it does, I think, on the East Coast or in Nebraska, where it just doesn't quite have that elevation. By 10 o'clock, it had dropped down to 46, and it was sleeting. By 1 o'clock in the morning, it was snowing, and by the time we woke up to take Ryan to the airport at 5, we had a couple inches on the ground, and it was coming down pretty hard. So it snowed for us. We dropped Ryan at the airport and headed home, and it snowed, rained, sleet, misted until we got to about Sterling, Colorado, which is eastern Colorado, and then it dried up, and we had dry roads the whole rest of the way. But we got so lucky that snow did not move in until later on that night, and everybody made it home safe and sound. And there were some delays at the airport for those folks who flew, but just delays. Nothing was canceled, and everybody got home. So we were really, really fortunate. So anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you're all doing well. I hope everyone's doing great. Have a great day, and see you soon. Bye, guys.